Good morning, world. Little Shane here. It is Saturday, November 3rd, 2018, in case you care. Today's vlog is going to be a new thing I'm starting called Little Pearls of Wisdom, maybe. I'm throwing my hat in the ring and giving my opinion on certain subjects that have come up in my life, and I encourage you, if you disagree, to tell me why you disagree. Give me evidence of why I'm wrong. I also encourage you to send in questions, to ask me anything else that you may want to hear my little pearls of wisdom maybe on. Okay? Because I believe in all forms of health. I know I don't look it, but I'm working on it. But I believe in physical health. I believe in mental health. I believe in social health, i.e., relationships with yourself, your mother, your wife, your mistress, your girlfriend. But don't hang out with them all at once; it makes things awkward. I know that from experience. Boyfriend, whatever. That's social health. You know. I also believe in spiritual health, and I am willing to talk about any subject you throw out there about anything. And if I don't know anything about it, it'll give me an excuse to research it, and I will. I guarantee you I will. All right? I can hold my own about anything. You try me. I'd love it. All right? Now, I have two things I want to talk about. One is a serious thing, and the other one is kind of serious, kind of silly, and I'll let you decide which one's serious and which one's silly. Okay? So, let's begin. I have a lot of friends who ask me a lot of questions about raising kids. The reason why they come to me, I think, is because I started off as a parent very young. I was 18 when Marcellus was born, and I just kept having kids. Not always with the same mother, but I've got 4 kids now, 22, 15, 13, and 7. And that's the 4 I know of. If anybody out there look like me, don't be afraid to say hi. Because when I was younger, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs, I didn't smoke cigarettes, and frankly, skateboarding and video games got boring fast. So so I loved women. That's my weakness and my addiction. All right? It is. It's true. But anyway, so one of my friends came to me, and this person was very serious. They wanted to know about the subject of bedwetting and how to handle it and what causes it. Well, turns out I know a little something about that. First of all, I'll talk about my experience. I was a bedwetter. Okay? I went to bed till I think 12 or 13 years old. Now, what causes bedwetting is a couple of things. One, it could be psychological and stress. All right? I believe that's what my bedwetting was, and I'll explain why that is momentarily. Another reason for bedwetting is there is a signal that goes from your bladder up to your brain that says, we need to pee. Okay? And that signal gets weaker when you are asleep. So sometimes the child doesn't get that signal. And so the bladder says, we need to pee. And then the brain goes, meh. And the bladder says, I'm serious. We really need to pee. And the brain goes, 5 more minutes. And then the bladder goes, come on, buddy. We really need... Oh, you know what? The hell with you. I'm going. And then... whoosh, it all comes out, okay? And that signal is weakened for a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that the child's body could be simply growing a little bit faster than the organs are, i.e. bladder and kidneys, okay? Sometimes things don't grow in proportion, right? A perfect example of that is women, right? Women, you know that when you hit puberty, certain things in front didn't grow evenly. Okay? Somewhere, one's slightly larger than the other. Okay? And that happens. And that's a natural, normal thing. And, because your body isn't perfect. Nothing is perfect. And that's how it goes. Okay? So, when a child is growing, right, he or she could be getting bigger, 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 but the little kidneys aren't. Okay? And the little bladder isn't. And that causes the signal to be a little bit weaker, going to the brain, and then they don't realize that they peed and they sleep right through it. Okay? So, that's the physical. Now, the psychological is, and all parents, you should look at yourself too. Like, look at all aspects with an objective mind. Now, that's hard to do, right? Because you like to think you're doing your best. And I bet you are. But you can always do a little better. Everyone can. So if your child is suffering from bedwetting, take a look at how you're interacting with your child. Take a look at how you're interacting with your spouse. And maybe there's some stress there. Okay? Also, take a look at how you're reacting to their bedwetting. Okay? I grew up in a very stressful household. My mother and father would fight and yell at each other all the time. Okay? Sometimes they got physical with each other. That's the way it is. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. This is to help other people. If you're pissed at me, you're pissed at me. Luckily, you can't send me to my room anymore. But that was the way it was. Okay? Now, there's a number of reasons why parents can be stressed. Money. Half the stuff that you're arguing about, it's not the stuff you're arguing about. That's not the underlying issue. Okay? I believe my parents were stressed because they were teenagers when they had me. I believe my mom was between 16 and 17 when she had me, and my dad was between 18 and 19 when I was born. So, yeah, that's a stressful time. I can tell you that from experience. I said I was 18 when my son was born, and it was stressful. Okay? So that's part of it, right? They had to, but the other part is they were raised in angry households, and the people before that were raised in angry households. So the cycle just continues on, right? So psychologically, it could be that. It could be how you're dealing with stress around your life, okay? So take a good look at that, and really look, and be honest with yourself. Now, if it's not any of that, look at how you're handling your child's bedwetting, okay? If he or she wakes up and the bed's wet and you're scolding them, you're making them feel bad about themselves, well, when they go to bed at night, they're going to bed stressed. Because, what happened with me is my parents' brilliant insight was to beat me when I peed the bed. Yep. Yeah. Makes sense, right? 4-year-old boy pees the bed, time to take the belt off. Yeah. Yeah, real. But the thing is, that's what happened to them. That's the sad thing, is I'm willing to bet dollars of donuts that's what happened to them, and they've said, well, I turned out all right. I eventually stopped wetting the bed. This must work. So then, yeah, they wail on my ass. But here's the kicker. They weren't even consistent with it, right? Every morning I'd wake up terrified. And I'm not saying scared. I'm not saying a little nervous. I was fucking terrified, okay? So I wake up and the bed's wet. And then I go, Dad, I'm sorry I wet the bed. And sometimes he'd beat me, and sometimes he'd not. It was like a game of Russian roulette with him, right? And he was acting like he was doing me this big favor the days he didn't beat me. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. There was no consistency. You need to be consistent in what you're going to do. If you want to be abusive all the way. For crying out loud. Fuck's sake, starting up. God, don't do that. Please. Sometimes I joke. Don't do it. But he wasn't consistent, right? And he didn't try to figure out what was wrong. And they took me to doctors and they gave me placebo pills and all that stuff, and it didn't work. And no, eventually I just grew out of it. But I wet the bed, I know, is because of stress. I literally would go to bed at night and I wouldn't go to sleep. I would stay up as late as I possibly could to go pee as often as I could because I was literally terrified of what would happen the next day. And no child should live that way. Okay? No child should live that way. So, how are you handling it? Are you upset, angry, annoyed? Well, maybe you are. But I don't think you're annoyed with the child. I think you're annoyed with yourself. I think you're frustrated and you don't know the situation and you don't understand what's going on. So then you take your frustrations out on your child and get mad at them. Or the opposite is maybe you think your child's just trying to piss you off. Maybe you think, oh well, little Benny just peed the bed. I think he's trying to make me do my laundry. No, he's not. He or she is not wetting the bed to piss you off. No one wants to lay and pee all night. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. So they're not doing it out of some form of rebellion. Okay? 9 times out of 10, it's either physical or psychological. I doubt there's a point where some kid goes, you know what, Mom? I didn't get dessert tonight. Ugh, deal with that. Because they're sleeping in it. No one wants to sleep in that. So, when this person asked me about bedwetting, I explained to them that look at yourself, see how you're handling it, and then change that behavior. Right? Change it. Get together with your partner and say, we're getting angry at little Timmy or little Betty or whoever at wetting the bed, and that could be perpetuating the bedwetting. And once you've agreed to come up with a plan, my suggested plan is this. When he or she wakes up and the bed is wet, you explain to them, we know you're not doing this on purpose. We know you're going through a phase and that this phase will end and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But you also should learn to clean up after yourself. So you're going to help me change your bedding every time you wet the bed. We're not going to scold you. We're not going to get mad at you. Because you haven't done anything that can't be fixed with a washing machine. Okay? Which is true. Right? The other thing is to help with the smell is get yourself a good strong mattress protector. A good plastic one. And wrap your mattress up. Then you get him or her to remove the bedding. You guys put it in the washer together. And you guys, leave it there. Because it's clean. No point hanging out there. You go to his or her room, and you get a little bit of cleaning solution, some soap and water, whatever, and you wipe down the bed, right? The mattress protector. Then you let it dry. Air freshen the room or open a window to get that smell out of there. And that's it. Give him or her a hug and a kiss and say, it's all right. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You're not a bad person. This will pass. It will get better. I guarantee you do that, and your child is going to love and respect you, and they'll look at that time in their lives, and they'll realize it isn't a traumatic thing. It isn't a horrible thing. It is just a natural part of growing up for some people. Okay? And if you think I'm wrong about that, you go right ahead and you let me know. You can reach me at loseitwithshane@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook, or you can leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Okay? Now, for the next problem. I got asked this just randomly one day, and it caught me completely off guard. Alright? This young woman, she came to me and she was complaining about, we were just talking about lots of different things, and the subject of oral sex came up. And she says, how come, she says, I got a real question for you here. How come when I give oral sex to my husband, boyfriend, slash, whatever, I don't gag. But when I brush my teeth, I gag. And I said to her, well, the quick answer is your toothbrush is bigger than he is. I said, that's all. That's all there is to it. Oh, God. And then I said, no, in all seriousness, it is about nerve stimulation. 9 times out of 10, I bet when you gag on that toothbrush, you are brushing your tongue at the time. Well, brushing your tongue is like you're tickling yourself. Okay? You're tickling your tongue, and that's causing your tongue to tighten up, and it's causing your throat to clench, and you go, hold up! Okay? Now, I'm not saying don't brush your tongue. It's important. You should brush your tongue. It helps. It helps with dental hygiene, and you should be doing that, especially with your breath. But that is why, if you're gagging on your toothbrush, but you're not gagging on your boyfriend, now you know why. It's not really that his toothbrush is big. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I don't know your boyfriend. But, but in reality, it's because your bristles on your brush is tickling your tongue and causing you to just tighten everything up. Okay? And that's it. So, you decide which one was the serious problem and which one wasn't, and let me know. So again, if you want to see more little pearls of wisdom, maybe, send me questions about any topic. I will not address a topic without researching it first. Okay? That's a guarantee. So, and if I don't know, I'll look it up, and it'll give me something to look up and something to learn. So, and you can send your questions again to loseitwithshane@gmail.com. You can find me at Facebook. You can leave a comment down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the notifications button if you want to be up to date and informed on my videos. And share it with your friends. I would love to make this channel grow, and I can't do it without you. So remember, you can do it, and you're worth it. Till next time, bye.